Group number one, please share with us your ideas on these two areas when we're talking about civil rights movements. Okay, recognize positive movements, and then what can we do as individuals? Go ahead and share with us your thoughts, your edited thoughts.
For recognizing positive movements, we talked about gay marriage, women's rights, the LGBT community, the increased diversity on like television, movies, and TV shows, depending on the cast or like the different diversity in that. And then we also talked about rap music, but that kind of ties into all music, but rap music especially because it started in that sort of Compton scene with like Ice Cube and Biggie, and the social ties that tied with that in the early days were not anything near what it is today. And then I guess for what we can do as an individual, I mean, we all have jobs working in the service industry, so we work with customers on a daily basis. So treating each customer as an individual and not sort of profiling or giving any sort of prejudice to each individual customer that we're encountering. And then just being an ally to everybody.
Being an ally. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, we can. Thank you, Jerry. I appreciate that. All right, let's move to our students in the back. Let me see here. There we go. Megan's group.
Okay, well, at first we weren't doing it right, but we were listing like how there's more diversity in schools now and less bias and segregation. We put the LGBTQ plus community and gay marriage being legalized. And then we said having like a multicultural approach, which is like just kind of not assuming or having like opinions towards somebody's like upbringing, like use kind of like or respectful, prejudice, not having prejudice. And then we said for the individual thing, we said being an ally as well.
Nice. Okay. All right. Thank you. Wait, you want to clap too? Okay. Yes. All right. Gentleman in the back.
So for the first question about like improvements, we said there's less discrimination based on race. Women's rights have greatly been improved over the years, and there's been like in sports now like all races can play as opposed to just like a single. And then was the second question, things we can do better: teach kids to be more open, accepting, punish racists, and don't bystand when people are being discriminated against.
Yeah, the bystander is a killer. You know, silence makes it sound like it's accepted and it's okay. Even if people are silently disagreeing, that person feels isolated and it perpetuates more of that. Those are great ideas and great recognition. Thank you.
Okay, for the first question, we did voting for all on that. Diversity, the marches and protests that have been going on in that, and just overall there's a lot more freedom for different people in that, like I'm not too sure.
What do we think? Different freedom for who? Who are we? We can draw upon the class too.
Well, it's been kind of repeated, but gay marriage, they've opened that up to how many states? I can't remember. Like a ton.
I'm pretty sure it's all 50.
Is it?
51, I mean, if you count Puerto Rico.
Well, that's...
Who are they on?
And then for the second one, reaching out to others. If someone needs help, there's been a lot of people, you know, if someone's in need, especially with all the flooding going on, people helping others. That, I mean, I live down by Brownville, so I was like right there beside the river, and I didn't get affected. But you had all the people coming from like down south with airboats to help with flooding and repairs.
That's nice.
And being a positive role model for everybody, because you've got actors being positive role models, and just being a positive role model in the community helps, because others will see it and they might be positive with others.
No, and I really appreciate these answers. There is such a thing as a snowball effect, and And I researched a lot about isolation when I was going through my studies. And there's two sides where if a person has an experience of them being, like looking for, let's say in here, a room, you know, like they're new to the college and they can't find a room and nobody asks them to help, they're less likely to help a person when they see them struggling. But if they've been helped, they're likely to help the next person, you know. So these are snowball effects. These are big changes that we can make just from little things. Just, you know, oh, are you lost? Do you need some help? You know, that's great. Thank you. Thank you for that. Last but never least.
Alrighty, so we not only also talked about all the marches, we also covered a little bit more on the diversity, not only in government positions, but in education positions. And then the positive influences on the media, just all around. And then for the second one, a big one that I personally like to think about a lot is vote. Like that's part of your way of getting your voice out and to be heard with it. Continue to fight positively for what we want, peaceful assembly and protest, teaching about how to stand up to sort of injustice and how to talk about what's going on. And then speak out towards what you see.
Very constructive ideas. Thank you. Last for indulging in this. I'll go ahead and collect your note cards because I like everything everybody said. Make sure your names are on them. All right, now go ahead and take a moment and share with your partners your thoughts and ideas on your topics. I know a couple of you sent me notes as far as ideas. Hopefully I responded to everybody. But what are your thoughts? What are your ideas when we're talking about topics for the first presentation, which is going to carry on to the next presentation? So go ahead and get those ideas out. Changes?
I didn't know, but I'm not, so.